We may be charging on through the year like a randy bull, but we've still got several massive smartphone launches to come before the end of 2019, and one of the biggest is Huawei's Mate 30 and Mate 30 Pro. These will be two of the most premium devices of the year, and massive rivals to the likes of Samsung's Galaxy Note 10 when that finally launches as well in August. There are already loads and loads of leaks, rumours, web whisperings and stuff circulating around on the interwebs about the Mate 30 and the Mate 30 Pro. We've got some juicy renders, and of course there's lots of gossip about the future of Huawei as well, following all that US sanction nonsense. So let's take a look at all of that jazz and see what you can expect and why you should be really excited about the Mate 30 and Mate 30 Pro. And for more on the latest and greatest mobile tech, please do plug subscribe and ding that notifications bell. Cheers! So first up, the Mate handsets are always flippin' enormous, and internet whisperings unsurprisingly suggest that the Mate 30 Pro model at least will emerge with a mighty 6.71-inch display, almost the same size as the behemoth OnePlus 7 Pro and a smidge bigger than the massive Samsung Galaxy S10 5G. These new Huawei handsets will sport a similar design to the premium OnePlus, with curved edges to trim down those dimensions a bit. All the same, of course, you can expect these devices to be an absolute handful and a half. If you want a more compact everyday experience, then you might want to look elsewhere. From pictures of a suspect Huawei test device that were recently shot out in the wild, the Mate 30 phones appear to come with a chunky notch up top, just like last year's Mate handsets, instead of a pop-up camera like the OnePlus 7 Pro. However, we've also seen renders that place the dual selfie camera in a stretched pinhole housing instead, tucked away at the corner of the display, just like the Galaxy S10 Plus and the S10 5G. So which do we believe, if either? Well, Huawei certainly isn't scared about slapping notches on its premium smartphone devices, and of course if you've got a fairly chunky notch, it means we'll probably get 3D facial recognition, and at least it won't fully intrude on the display like the Pixel notch did. As for the Mate 30 display itself, Huawei will of course use AMOLED tech, and you can expect at the very least the Pro model to pump out Quad HD Plus visuals, with standard Full HD Plus probably reserved for the standard Mate 30. More lovely leaks point to a 90Hz refresh rate, just like the glorious OnePlus 7 Pro display, which should deliver a super smooth EMUI experience and also support any compatible games such as Gear Club and Vainglory. It did work wonders on the OnePlus 7 Pro, although some dedicated gaming handsets like the ROG Phone 2 from Asus bump up that rate to 120Hz. So moving now on to performance, and both the Mate 30 and the Mate 30 Pro are expected to be powered by Huawei's fresh new Kirin 985 chipset, its most premium platform for 2019, and this is expected to launch out at IFA, the big tech trade show that will hit Berlin on the 6th of September. The Mate 30 and the Mate 30 Pro will be the debut devices for the 985, which is likely to use a similar 7nm architecture to Qualcomm's Snapdragon 855 platform, which is found in most rival flagship devices. Little is known about the Kirin 985 chipset so far, but you can bet your left butt cheek that Huawei will be riding that AI bandwagon really hard. We're expecting it to give the likes of the Snapdragon 855 a good run for its money in terms of performance and also energy efficiency. Question is, can it also match or better the super-powered Snapdragon 855 Plus chipset, which was only just launched along with the ROG Phone 2? Well, we shouldn't have long to wait to find out, although admittedly that is a pretty tough order. Battery life is always a highlight of Huawei's smartphones as well, and we doubt that the Mate 30 family will let us down on that front. The Pro is said to come packing a 4200mAh cell, and we're expecting at least a 4000mAh from the standard Mate 30 as well. One possible upgrade as far as the battery tech goes is the charging speed, with rumours of a 55W wide charging support being enabled, which should fully power up the Pro in just an hour or so despite that large capacious battery. And you can expect the Pro to also play nicely with wireless chargers and share its own juice with other devices using Huawei's reverse wireless charging. You can also expect the Mate 30 Pro and maybe perhaps the standard Mate 30 to come packing Huawei's latest Beilong 5000 modem as well. That'll basically mean that these handsets will be 5G ready to take full advantage of those ultra-fast networks. As for the camera tech, well, these renders here show a very interesting triangular arrangement of the lenses and LED flash around the back end of the Mate 30 handsets. 4 lenses definitely meets our expectations for these phones. We're thinking another primary lens backed by ultra-wide-angle telephoto and time-of-flight shooters, offering the same flexible setup as Huawei's P30 Pro. Rumours point to another 5x optical zoom using the same periscope-style arrangement of the Huawei P30 Pro, and as that smartphone rocks one of the best mobile cameras of 2019, we'd be very surprised if Huawei changed it up at all. Now on to the software side, and the Mate 30 and the Mate 30 Pro should both offer the same all-new EMUI 10 experience slapped on top of the fresh Android Q OS. EMUI 10 is expected to be officially unveiled in August. We should know all about the fresh new features right then. However, from leaks so far, it does appear that the EMUI 10 UI will it'll look and feel rather similar to the current EMUI 9. One of the biggest changes appears to be around the area of privacy and security, quite the hot topic these days, with greater control over what information each of your apps can access. And what about all this US sanction guffins imposed on Huawei earlier this year? Well, the official verdict should be a bit more clear in the next couple of months, but President Trumpy has relaxed his stance quite considerably, probably after realizing just how much money US companies make dealing with Huawei. So it looks like Huawei has generally been scolded and slapped on the wrist a bit like a naughty child, but basically forgiven. So we should expect the Huawei Mate 30 and Mate 30 Pro to continue getting lots of Android love and updates for the foreseeable. So that right there is what we know, or at least what we think we know, about Huawei's upcoming Mate 30 and Mate 30 Pro. If your underwear is positively bristling with anticipation, then definitely let us know why in the comments below. What features of the Mate 30 and the Mate 30 Pro are you most looking forward to, or do you really hope that Huawei will cram in there? And for more on the latest and greatest tech, please do subscribe and ding that notifications bell. Cheers everyone, love you!